Hi, boys and girls. Today, this is lesson 3 on percentages. This is writing fractions as percentages, and there are 2 methods to do that, and I'm going to explain both of them, and then you can choose which one you want to use. Okay, so here I have, and don't laugh at my drawing, this is a wall, and 1, 2, 3/4 of that wall have been painted. So 3/4 of a wall have been painted. What percentage is that? So in order to find percentage, of course, we're trying to think of 100s. All right, so you can see that. Method 1, then, you're going to say how 3/4 is what out of 100, because that's what we're trying to do, find that percentage. So I'm going to put 100 down here, and I'm going to say, what would I have to multiply 4 by to get 100? I would have to multiply it by 25. So I'm also going to multiply my numerator by 25, and 25 times 3 is 75. So anything over 100 is a percentage, that's 75%. Now sometimes, that's method 1, sometimes your denominator won't go into 100, and in that case, you're going to multiply by 100%. When you multiply by 100%, it looks like this. You see that? You just put 100 over 1, and then you can say 3 times 100 is 300, 4 times 1 is 4, and you can divide 4 into 300. I like to cross reduce to make it easier, and I know that 4 will go into 100 25 times. So I'm going to say 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 25 is 75. So either way, I'm going to get 75% as my answer. And yes, 4 into 300 would have been 75%. Here we go. You see that? I'm subtracting, I'm getting 2, I'm bringing down the 0, 4 into 20 is 5. Just so you know, either way you do that, you're going to get 75%. Okay? So let's do some others. Okay, let's express 4/10. 4/10 is a percentage. Okay, 4/10. Now I want to show you what we're doing. Like in your mind, I want you to think this way. So here I have a grid, and it has been broken up into tens, and you see that 4 out of 10 have been colored in. Okay, so 4/10 of this grid, of this fractional grid, have been colored in. And what I want to do with that is I want to make it 100. I want to make that 10 into 100. So I'm simply going to do that. And we are not going to do this for every problem. We're actually not going to do this for any problem. But I want you to see, so in your mind, you can understand. Okay, now what have I done? I have made those tens into 100 by drawing horizontal lines. So now I have 100. I have 100 blocks. So that's what we're doing in our brain. Hopefully, if you need a visual, this is a visual. So when you have a fraction and you're trying to make it into a percentage, you're trying to visualize that fraction as 100. So we'll put that up here. Okay. So I can do method 1, which would say 4/10, and try that into 100. 10 times what will give me 100? 10 times 10. So that's 10 times 4 is 40. That's 40%. Or I can use method 2, 4/10 times 100 over 1. And I would say 10, I'm going to reduce here. And see here, I would get 40 over 1, which again is 40%. So there are 2 ways to get your answer. And sometimes one way is better than another. Right now, they're kind of both easy, but that does get a little more difficult as you get to harder ones, and I'm going to show you a couple of those. Let's express 7 out of 25. All right, 7 out of 25. So let's use method 1. I know that 25 will go into 100 because 4 quarters will go into $1. So 4 25s will make 100. So 7 times 4, 28. And 28 over 100 is my fractional percentage. Anything over 100 is a percent. So there we go, 28%. Over here, method 2, 7 over 25 times 100%. I'm going to reduce this because I know that 25 will go into 104 times. I get 28 over 1, which is 28% here. All right, so let's put this into real life. So let's say that Lenny has 20 apples. 20 apples. Okay. 14 of them are red. All right. What percentage of the apples are red? So I know 14 out of 20. So this is how I'm going to write that fraction. I'm going to use method 1. 20 will go into 100. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 5 times. All right, and 14 times 5 is, let's see, 70. Is that right? 50, 55, 60, 65. Yeah, 70. All right, so that's 70%. If I wanted to use method 2, I would put 100 over 1. I would reduce, and I would get, again, 70%. All right, 70% of the apples are red. Now I want to ask you, if 70% of the apples are red, what percent is not red? In percentages, remember, it's all based on 100. So if 70% is red, I can subtract and find out that 30% are not red. Okay? So be thinking in those ways. All right, so you are ready to do exercise 18. Now, the next lesson, of course, is going to tell you, what do I do when my denominator does not go into 100? And we will get to that in the next lesson. But I'm going to let you go ahead and work on exercise 18 now. All right, see you soon.